I was going through the old meal prep recipes and realized that we haven't done much grab and go stuff. Things that you can just take out of the fridge, they're extremely accessible and don't need reheating. So today we're making a chicken Caesar wrap. It's tasty, it's easy to make, somewhat cheap as well, and all of the macros are included in the video. Let's get straight into it. To start, we're going to need 4 large chicken breasts, and these can be placed into a large mixing bowl. Add in 1 teaspoon of onion powder, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of sweet paprika. Hit it up with a little bit of salt, as well as some cracked black pepper, 20 cracks worth. With that done, just start giving this all a really good mix through. Make sure everything's coated in that seasoning. Usually I would add oil to this just to help stick everything on here, but because it's meal prep, I'm just trying to cut down on those calories. So I'm just going to do a dry rub for this one. And should have something that looks like this. Next, we can prepare our bacon. What I have here is 300 grams of streaky bacon. This comes from the belly. You can also use back bacon or middle bacon. All we're going to do with this is just lay this out onto a baking tray lined with parchment paper. Just stack this. You can overlap them slightly. And I want to say bacon is optional if you want to cut down on calories and the sodium, but really do try and add it if you can. It's one of the main parts of a Caesar salad and it tastes absolutely incredible.
For the chicken, place a large high-rimmed pan over medium-high heat. Add in 2 teaspoons or 10 milliliters of olive oil, add in the chicken, and we're going to sear this for about 3 to 3.5 minutes on each side, and flip it over when you see that nice golden crust. It might happen a bit quicker than 3 to 3.5 minutes, so just keep an eye on that. When you have a nice golden sear on both sides, we can transfer this to an oven that's at 200 degrees Celsius or 390 degrees Fahrenheit and cook the chicken for 14 minutes. We can also add the bacon in at this time and cook it to your liking.
Now while the chicken and bacon are cooking, we can make our quick Caesar dressing. Add 180 grams or 3/4 of a cup of low-fat mayonnaise into a mixing bowl. Add in 1 clove of garlic that's just been ran along a microplane to create a paste. 20 grams of Parmesan cheese or Parmigiano Reggiano. 6 anchovy fillets that are just roughly chopped and then scraped on the board to create a paste. Some people might not want to use these, but I highly recommend doing it. You can't taste them as an individual ingredient. Along with that, add in 1 teaspoon of Dijon mustard, 1 teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce, squeeze in about 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. Just be sure you don't get any seeds in there. Season to taste with a little bit of salt, as well as some cracked black pepper, 10 cracks worth. With that all in, just give this all a really good mix. Make sure everything's combined and all of those flavors have become friends. And when that's all mixed through, we'll just have this nice, quick and easy Caesar dressing that we can place in the fridge until we're ready to serve.
As always, this right here is the macro card for the Caesar dressing with a serving size of 50 grams or 1.7 ounces.
Last but not least, we're going to need 1 baby cos or baby romaine lettuce. You may need more depending on the size of your wraps or how much you want to fill them. It's not going to change the macros too much if you add an extra lettuce. There's not much to these. All we're going to do is thinly slice, also known as chiffonade, the whole way across into nice pieces. And then I do recommend giving this a wash because these has individual layers of a lettuce and there can be a lot of dirt and grime in between those layers.
After 14 minutes and a 5-minute rest on the chicken, we can start slicing this up. I know I'm being aggressive and tearing the chicken here. It doesn't really matter though because we are going to be tearing this with our hands into those nice bite-sized strips. I do also recommend placing this back into the resting juices and mix it around just for any additional flavor. We're doing the same thing with the bacon. Once it's cooked to your liking, slice this into strips as well, or dice it, or just tear it up with your hands. And for me, about 13 to 14 minutes is the perfect cooking time for bacon. Now once you have all of that done, add the chicken into a bowl, scrape in that bacon, a little bit of that fat can come along as well, unless you want to cut down on that. Add in the shredded lettuce that's been washed, and then we're going to add about 2/3 of that Caesar dressing into the mix. Check and adjust seasoning. I'm only adding in cracked black pepper here, 20 cracks worth. And then mix this all around. Make sure that dressing's coating everything. It's not going to be swamped in sauce right now because we don't want this to be really soggy. It is just a perfect blend of all of those flavors. Now with the remaining sauce, spread this across 5 low-fat, high-protein tortillas. These are on the larger side as well. Then start adding in the mix and just divide everything by 5. These wraps are quite heavily filled. You could possibly push this to 8 smaller size wraps. Of course, you'll have to work out the macros on that yourself. And try and wrap these up as tight as possible, tucking in the sides and then making sure nothing's leaking out. When it comes to storage, you can do this a few different ways. I like to wrap these up in food safe paper, something that you usually get in a takeaway. Just wrap it up nice and tight, but you can put them in Ziploc bags or even meal prep containers.
Now, once you have these wrapped up, we can place them in the fridge for up to 3 to 4 days. Don't try and freeze these because when you thaw them out, they're going to end up as a soggy mess. It's also best eaten cold, so there's no reheating or having to worry about a microwave or anything like that. You can just take it out of the fridge and it's ready to go. With that all done, we can then slice this open. We can reveal what we have in the center.
This right here is the Chicken Caesar wraps full macro card, everything included, and the serving size is for 1 wrap.
So with everything said and done, there's only one thing left to do, and that is, of course, we can then dig in. That right there is the perfect combination of flavor and texture. The bacon and the lettuce adds that nice crisp touch. The chicken's juicy and packed with flavor as well. Then we've got that dressing that just brings it all together, makes it absolutely delicious. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, leave a comment for the algorithm. It all helps me out massively, helps the videos be seen by more people, and subscribe if you haven't already. It's free, so why not? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.